Hey,
I feel like I
everybody.
was just with you this afternoon.
Time flies.
What's your favorite fruit? I already know your favorite fruit. Your favorite fruit? Well, you eat strawberries the most, right?
I do. Strawberries and blueberries are probably what I eat the most. I don't know that it's necessarily my favorite. I think it's just the most accessible and practical to
Yeah,
watch and
it's
have
a good
ready.
one.
How
I
about
cur-
what's yours?
I currently am advertising for bananas and lemons and pineapples.
Yeah. Oh, I do love pineapples. They just have to be in season. You know, like a not ripe pineapple is terrible. But I guess that's
Well,
true of
yeah.
all fruit.
Then my favorite's watermelon, as I said earlier. And have you seen in the grocery store where they have yellow watermelons now?
I have, but I've
The
never
inside
purchased
of
it.
it's yellow. Yeah, I haven't tasted one, but it is a real
Neither.
thing.
Right now, in my area, the honeydew and the cantaloupe is hitting season, and I do love both of those when they're in season.
Oh, me too. Are we making you guys hungry? So we always do a little riff in the beginning of things like this, giving everybody a chance to get on because we don't want anyone to miss anything. So we are giving you so many different reasons why we love fruit and the different, hopefully make you hungry for fruit, but really we want to make you hungry for opportunity too. So tell them why we're here, Michelle.
Well, we wanted to share with everyone a little bit tonight about what we love about Park Lane and what you might love about it too, to see if it might be something that's right for you and your household at this time. So, as you're jumping on, of course, comment live if you're watching live, comment replay if you're watching the replay. And the most important step of all, tag your stylist that invited you here so that he or she knows that you're here and checking this out. Because we are doing a separate special giveaway that involves you completing a survey that we're going to share with you at the end. And everybody wants to complete this survey because regardless if it's this prize or another prize, we need your address.
Right.
So,
And
so
again,
welcome on.
you are in the you have the opportunity to win a prize just by filling out the Google form. Okay,
Yes.
just for filling out the survey. So whether you're, yes, no, indifferent, whatever, just fill it out completely and you will have the opportunity to win jewelry. And it does ask you for what types of jewelry you prefer, so be sure to take time with that because for the winner, I'll probably do more than one winner this time too, Michelle, depending on how many there are. But I
Woo!
curate it. I love to use that word. I sound so important. I curate it to your specific taste. So if you're a big bracelet girl, if you're like no earrings or whatever, just let us know and you'll be sure to win something that is going to be delightful to you based on what you put in the survey. All right. I
Well,
love my job.
I know that so many of you come to something like this probably with some base level questions that are in your
Yeah.
mind. So we're going to try to hit the four biggest ones. And then, of course, any additional, feel free to put into the chat. We'll try to grab those. But we also, there's also a space on the survey for you to ask additional questions. And we will make sure that you are taken care of. But why don't we start out with, why is direct sales a great way to bring in some additional income?
Well, that is a very good question, Michelle. You know what I always think is important to point out is what direct sales is, because I think when I first looked into this, if someone had actually called it direct sales, I might have had a misconception because that's so often when people are like, oh no, is that one of those like multi-level things? Is that one of those pyramid schemes? And I'm like, oh my gosh, goodness, no. Really, what direct sales means is direct to consumer. So we are self-employed and we serve as a liaison between Park Lane Jewelry and our customer, which is actually very popular modes of shopping these days. People like the online, which you definitely can do through Park Lane, but it's so nice to have a human component. You know who to call, you know who to get advice from, everything like that. Michelle and I will both agree that direct sales just made a huge difference in our lives. We kind of fell into the original companies that we were with because we liked the product or we went to a show or whatever.
Right.
And Park Lane is the only company that will recognize previous experience. So when both she and I came to Park Lane, they were able to give us titles and pay levels commensurate with what we had already achieved in another company. That's something important to keep in mind about Park Lane. And I know that we're going to, talk more about this. But so direct sales means direct to consumer. And one of the things I love to say is it's running your own business with none of the overhead and none of the risk. And it absolutely enhanced and changed my family's life in so many ways. And you're able to fit it around your schedule. Michelle, I bet this has happened to you. Well, people will go, oh, I already have a job. And my answer, you're going to laugh, is always like, well, good. Because I never would have been brave enough to quit the job. I was teaching at the time. So were you. I never would have been brave enough to just quit my job and go full force direct sales. But because I was able to work it around my schedule and what worked for our family at that time, I could see the benefits, and it gained weight slowly, and I got to put my toe in the water and then learn more as I went along. So that's not a reason, that's a reason to try direct sales, is because you can work it around with whatever's going on in your life right now.
Well, that's really what I always give as the number one reason is the flexibility, and I see it not just in my own experience, which is that 25 years ago, I was a teacher on maternity leave and just needed $600 a month to pay a COBRA so that I could extend my maternity leave. That's all I was looking for back in June of 2000. So exactly 25 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But I don't only see that flex because now I've lived that through, raising a family that is now grown and out the door already. But with the team too, to see who's working it around their full-time job, their part-time job, caring for aging parents in another state or nearby, and having the flexibility of schedule to do those types of things. The school age kids that are on a field and a saxophone lesson and a dance recital and all of that coordinating. Then it's the college move-ins, the bridal showers. Like there's just so many stages of life that this can take you through.
Absolutely.
Maintaining the flexibility.
Yeah.
So, to me, why direct sales is that. But the next question then would be, because neither of us came from a jewelry background. So having done direct sales with different products, now we get to say, why jewelry?
Yeah. And, I'm so ashamed, but I was one of the people that used to say, who would sell jewelry, and it's like, really the answer came from
all the
Levine family who started our company in 1955. And now I've lived everything that they learned. And if I were ever to, if I had come in being more savvy, I definitely would have done my research and I would have chosen jewelry. And here's the reasons, like if you were to Google, I'm thinking of trying direct sales. One of the things that would come up probably from the A1 or whatever is choose a product that you love. I agree, because ultimately it is yours, but I'm telling you, I think it's smarter to choose a product that the most other people love. And that's what happens with jewelry. The market is absolutely huge. There isn't anybody left out of the potential of being a jewelry wearer or buyer. Okay. Top 3 gifts in the world: candy, flowers, and jewelry. Whenever you look at something, you want to look at like the security of the product, and it withstands the test of time. The first documented instance of somebody creating a piece of jewelry, I think, is 150,000 years ago. And now they're showing forecasts of $43 billion in our type of jewelry industry in the next couple of years or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, so there isn't anyone who doesn't in some way wear or buy jewelry. Also, there's no special training. Like I used to do candles. So we had to study burn times. Oh my gosh, help you. You did cooking. You definitely had to study or learn how to do certain cooking, right? If you guys tell me right now, speak to my camera, where does a necklace go? Okay, you're fully qualified to sell Park Lane jewelry. Another thing that's really neat is our product is out in the world. So what I mean by that is I'm wearing my jewelry. My customers are wearing my jewelry. What does that mean? Referrals. It means free advertising, people noticing and coming back to us. It's very inexpensive to ship in store. My other business, I seriously had a whole garage devoted to my other business. Here at Park Lane, like, I can keep like a, you know, size of my purse with a couple pouches of jewelry in it if I need to do that. So I'm probably forgetting some things, but this is what the Levine family in 1955, we've been around for 70 years. And they knew they wanted to use the direct sales model for showing their product. They weren't quite sure what product they should do. And they were so smart because they hired three separate consulting firms and they sent three people out into the world and said, go do your homework, come back with your top three product choices that you recommend, and be ready to defend your answers. I love that one. And all three of them came back with jewelry as number one. And Michelle, you've been there when our CEO's been chatting about it. That's not what they thought they were going to do. But they took the research and they went with it. And boy, am I glad they did, because what a joyful place it has been. And did you know it's one of the only products that sales actually go up during economic hard times? So it really is just a really wonderful, secure place to be. Did I leave anything out? Probably.
No, I think we can get to the heart of the conversation, which is really why Park Lane jewelry, because of course, we know there's plenty of things out there. And why, if you want to own a business, if you want to be in direct sales and sell jewelry, why Park Lane?
Why Park Lane? Well, you know what? I'm not just saying this lightly, because I actually did choose Park Lane, and I actually did have other options with other jewelry companies. And I'm going to tell you why I chose Park Lane. It was kind of a resounding, no comparison type of thing. But one is the product line. Like, I found that other jewelry companies usually have a niche market, almost always. So you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's all silver, or it's all crystals, or it's all pearls, right? Yeah. With again, I'm like, one of the reasons jewelry is so smart to represent is because of the market. So I didn't want to limit that market. And I love with Park Lane jewelry that we have something for everyone. We have every single kind of style that you can imagine. My customers have actually said that back to me. Now, whenever you're looking at any company and you want to be part of it, you want to look at their programs. And here at in direct sales, what we mean by that is like, what do they do for the customers? What do they do for the hostesses? What do they do for us? We really care about that too. And Park Lane has so many programs that build on themselves, thereby helping us to be more successful. So one is the sale. You guys know about the sale right now. It's by any 2 items for a regular price, get any 4 for half. Currently, it's been $60, and you get any item of your choice for $35, and then another item of $100 or less for free. That's the current special. Well, what do you think that does for us as the representatives? It helps us to make you happy. That's for darn sure. But really, you're getting value. You're getting quantity rather than you're getting quantity and quality rather than just getting one piece of jewelry. We've made it so that you can get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, and that you're absolutely thrilled with that deal. Well, remember when I said that jewelry's out, talking, walking around for you, bringing you compliments, getting you referrals? Do we want you to have one piece of jewelry, or do we want you to have 6, 7, 8 pieces of jewelry? All of those programs build on themselves. So the customer's super excited and happy, but so are we as the representative, because we get, compensated for what we sell. So the more, the better, right? Everybody's absolutely thrilled. Yeah.
When I was on my interview, because whenever Mary Grace mentioned at the beginning that both of us came from another company, and that means that you sit on an interview with someone from our home office. And when Kathy, who interviewed me, shared about the programs, the first thing she shared about was the sale. And this was before telling me anything about the compensation programs or anything.
Right.
So she shared about the sale, and it was so interesting to me because the sale almost sounded like something that a hostess of a party would receive. And then it really clicked that we know 2 things about women and shopping. We know, number one, women love a great deal on a quality product, which is what Mary Grace just described, right? But what's the number 2 thing is that they love to tell their friends about that.
Yes.
So we do it all the time, right? You told your mom when the good peaches were on sale. You told your sister when the leggings that your daughter likes were on sale at wherever. And when our customers tell their friends about the sale and bring them in to shop, that is our program too, the Hostess program.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you all have noticed, I shouldn't say I'm sure all of you, many of you have noticed that that's the program other companies have started taking away. They don't want to pay for those gifts for a hostess. But Park Lane is like, are you kidding me? This is how we help our stylists meet new people.
Yes.
So we get the pleasure of sharing not only the sale with now your friends and family when you have the party, whichever way it is, in person, online, on text, on Messenger, whatever it is. But now Park Lane rewards you with a free and discounted jewelry shopping spree that we're not paying for as the stylist. Park Lane is paying for it. We meet the whole next batch of jewelry lovers who then are going to invite their friends and family, because then that's what leads us into hearing about the compensation program, which is so rich. And both Mary Grace and I both have a prior company to compare it to. And we've worked with teams now for how many years from people who have come from even other companies that have shared their compensation program. So we can confidently tell you from our 25 plus years of experience that this is the richest compensation plan. So go ahead and
yeah, it absolutely is the richest compensation plan. From day one, they knew that they wanted to pay their people more than anybody else did, and they wanted the best people, and that's how they're partly able to do it. It's just absolutely wonderful. And there are so many other advantages to Park Lane. One I forget to mention a lot is truly just being part of something so uplifting. I get so many compliments on that where people say, this is doing something way more than bringing me in a weekly paycheck. We get paid weekly. That's pretty awesome. But also the longevity of the company. I don't know that it meant as much to me when I first joined 15 years ago, but the fact that we're not just standing, but thriving after the COVID lockdown and everything, more than ever, and seeing other companies go down, it's been so remarkably comforting and wonderful that we're so secure. So Park Lane's been around 70 years. They're cash rich and debt free. Now, you guys, that's awesome for us because we know we're going to get paid week after week. We don't have to worry about that. But also it gives them incredible buying power. So like, what do you think who do the gem houses or the chain houses want to work with? Right? Do they want to work with someone who's going to pay them on time, overtime, or do they want someone who's going to pay them in cash immediately, right? So we get so many advantages. And then anything that you could think of, if there's one complaint about Park Lane, it's not a complaint, but sometimes we'll be like, oh, they just do so much for us. It's hard to keep track, And we're like, well,
how did I do this?
What? Yeah. And then we're like, what do you want us to take away? Nothing. But the Scott's philosophy, the CEO's philosophy is they do not want to lead with fear and intimidation. So a huge, awesome thing here at Park Lane is that we don't have minimums, okay? So if I am an executive company vice president, and no matter what, if I take 4 months off and come back later, I'll still be an executive company vice president. There's no demotions, okay? There's no you have to do this every single month or else kind of thing. But what there is are incentives. So we have like a Mercedes car bonus that we can earn. We have 2 trips a year. In fact, get in on this right now because they'll be announcing our new trip soon. But we have 2 trips a year that we can earn, European and tropical. Just so many amazing experiences. A really basic one, and the reason if you're listening to this, you really should just jump on board, is the free jewelry. We are able to earn every single month of our entire career over $1,000 worth of free jewelry every single month. And my husband even said to me once, he goes, Mary Grace, we are, obviously thrilled with your income, blah, blah, blah. He goes, but we can't even put a price on how much gift shopping you do for free. It's true.
And I know if that's a concern that many of you had, go ahead and put jewelry in the comments, just the word jewelry in the comments, because a lot of people we have noticed think that we have to buy jewelry all the time. And that then how am I making money if I'm always needing to purchase jewelry? When in fact, we're earning incremental packages of jewelry every single month. There's a $250 package, 3 different ways to earn a $300 package.
Yes.
A piece of the month, that's the next month's thing coming
Yes.
out. Then all the bonus ones, when we have like these extra little sets come out and we'll have earned it the month before or the 2 months before. And if that's a big relief to you, go ahead and comment the word relief.
Huge.
Because
And if we do ever want to buy jewelry or have to buy jewelry or feel like we need to buy jewelry, because goodness knows none of us have any, when we feel like we want to, we get paid.
right.
You know, so there's no direct to company like profit center. It's not like, oh, now I'm going to, you know, get a certain amount off but over, you know, just go, don't
Right.
use my rep anymore. You're your
Right.
own rep. So you're getting paid on your own jewelry purchases. So just imagine if every jewelry purchase you had ever put through up to this point, you got like a 30% kickback or 50% kickback in the
Right.
mail that week. You know, it's like the friends and family discount. So very many advantages. And if you've been with direct sales in any capacity with any other company, I know right now you're sitting there with your mouth open because that's how all of us were like, what?
A lot of companies only have like the product earning in like your first 3 months of business.
Yes.
Success start or something like that. Whereas here, I'm here 11 years. I'm still earning the exact same jewelry packages as everybody else in the company.
Yeah.
And I'm just as excited to redeem it today as I was the first day I started. And I'll be just as happy 11 more years from now when I'm redeeming it because we're able to use it in a way that benefits all of you, right? How many times have you won a prize from your stylist in their VIP group? How many times have you won a prize on something like this in an event? That's where that jewelry comes from.
Absolutely.
All these opportunities to earn. And of course, these are all perks. I mean, if we were to go back a bit, even to just the nitty gritty and go back to the actual money and pay, like that we're starting at 30% commission on personal sales. That was I would have had to promote 3 times in my previous company to get to that. And then when you become first level leadership, which is 1 person joining your team, you hit 35%. That's a level that didn't even exist in my other company.
No, ours either.
50% where both of us are now. So what I just wanted to clarify is that I know Merrick, Grace, and I both spoke about like we came from another company, but there are so many stylists on this team that started without a lick of experience, didn't know a thing about sales. In fact, stylists, help us out here in the comments. Just put the words no experience. If you having no sales experience at all, and you're going to see how many are here that are either in the beginning of learning how to run a business, or 3 months ago they were in the beginning and now they're trip achievers, they're leaders, they're building skills, they're building businesses. They have small teams, large teams. They just sell because they enjoy selling. They're hobbyists, their career. Because what this is an opportunity to try this out for what might be a reason or a season, right? So for you, the season might be, I'm a teacher. Summer just started, but when school starts again in September, like I want to be home right now, but I need to make some money, right? Maybe the season for you is I'm going to try this out for June, July, and August, make some extra money so I can take my kids to the water park, so I can say yes when the ice cream truck walks by, and so we can go into the Italian ice, but like all of those things that would make your summer better. Right. And then in September, you might decide that was fun. I'm going to return to normal life. Well, then Park Lane for you was a season and this was it. But for others of you, you'll start for a reason. Like I need to pay off this credit card. I need to pay off this student loan. I have a car payment that really is dogging me. And that reason may become something that keeps you here forever because the car payment, like for me, the Cobra payment became maybe instead of $600, I can make $1,000. Maybe instead of $1,000, I can make $1,500. 25 years later, if I was still only making $600 or $1,500, considering how we decided for it to become a full-time thing, that would be considered terrible. But for other people, they come here for the $600 right now, and that's what they want. So we just want you to know that these doors are all open for you, no matter what your reason or season, no matter what your dollar amount, because we would love for you to think about what is the dollar amount, and then we'll help you get to that number. Because we know what an average show makes. We know how many shows are likely to get you there, and we can just work with you on that.
And we have so many team resources where it literally could be a cut and paste kind of business for you online, because we have somebody that prepares images for us and does a beautiful job. And you have people with hundreds of years, literally hundreds of years of experience. Just between the two of us, we have 50 years of experience in the direct sales market, and we're here for you. So most of the time when people say no to something or have to think about it, it's because they're imagining all these things that could happen. And successful people lean in. Successful people don't worry about what could go wrong or could happen. They just say, okay, here's what I see. I see that it's fun and easy. I see that I can do it for a season. And I see that it's not forever, and that I will leave with more than I came with. I'm going to try it. And then we'll just do the steps along the way. Now is an amazing time to start. First of all, because you'll get extra tickets for the prizes, which is really fun. That's probably not even the best reason, but that is a reason. Also, because we're at the cusp. Whenever we're at a time when we're at a change of outfits, change of season, change of weather, it's such a good time to jump on, because people are accessorizing in different ways. But also because we do have a new catalog coming in the next few weeks. And how awesome to do like your beginning show now, and then second round, you're able to say, and now the new catalog, and it's all you. It is such a fun time to start. Now,
there's also impression bracelets being added to kits right now.
Yes.
So what color would you pick? Tell us that.
Yeah, what color would you pick?
What color impression are you going to put into your kit as your bonus extra?
That's so anybody who starts now.
Kit from $500 to almost $700. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So $500 worth of jewelry is what you get to choose of your choice for $129. Plus, right now, you get to throw in an impression bracelet of your choice, which, like Michelle just said, took you up to a $700 value. That $129 is a tax write-off. It also incorporates you having your own personal website and access to all of the tools. Like, we don't have credit card charges or anything. Park Lane takes care of all of that. Right. And here's the kicker. We're not allowed to say it's a no-cost startup, but kind of a no-cost startup. Because what you get to do then, what you do is you have a party. And that party is what we call your promotional or your introductory party. Guess who does the party? Not you. The person who invited you to this mega party does the party for you. But guess who gets paid? You. So you get the paycheck. You get all the hostess free jewelry. You still got to pick out your $500 in your impression bracelet. And within a week, you have a paycheck that has paid you back for that $129 that's on your credit card. So really, there is so much to gain and absolutely nothing to lose here at Park Lane Jewelry.
And you're going to see these options on the survey.
Yes.
So, just put down if you're listening to this, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing, I'm in, then just put, there's a choice, sign me up now, and we can get you started. You can get your kit, you can get your website, we can set up your launch party, and off we go. If you feel like you're almost to that, then at the minimum, what you want is a decider party. A decider party is just the party where we're gonna, if you want to say this, fine, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna do a party, and then it's still gonna allow you to do all that double dipping at the end if you decide, oh my gosh, there really is a paycheck, there really is a shopping spree, there really is a website, all that stuff that really is here for me. Okay, yes, I want it. Now, you may have that party and all those things might happen, and then you might get cold feet and say, you know what, never mind, I still just want the free jewelry. Well, then that's fine. That's why it's called a decider party.
Yes.
So feel free to put decider party on your survey if you feel like that's the next step that's right for you. And if you just heard all of that and said, wait, there's big fat jewelry shopping sprees just for having a party, because some of you are newer to this and maybe this is your first event. Well, then, go ahead and check that, and we're going to set you up with that.
Yeah, There's so many good things here waiting for you. Thank you for listening to us. We always love the opportunity to talk about our job because
We do.
it's the same as like sharing that great restaurant or sharing,
Yes.
it's stuff with girlfriends. Like I've had so many people thank me for sharing Park Lane with them, and I've never had anybody be mad at me for sharing Park
Never.
Lane with them. Yeah.
And you know what? If you don't believe me and Mary Grace, make sure you come back to this event at 10 a.m. Eastern every day this week, where you're going to see and hear from somebody different on our team. Some had no experience at all. Some came here with some experience. Some dabbled in something else and found their home here. But come and hear those stories and see the successes. And you might find someone or something that resonates with you that makes you able to say yes. So
Yeah.
that's why we love to feature so many different members of our team, so that you can see all the different walks and talks and looks and everybody that is here, because success is here for every single one of you. Every program is available to everyone that's here, and that can include you. So we really look forward to seeing your
Yep.
service.
Fill out the Google form, Google survey, and
In
we
the
will see you
and
all week. And we'll definitely be joining you for the main event. Bye,
all right.
everybody.
Have a great rest of your night. Bye, everyone.